Welcome, friends. Good to be back together again. It's wonderful to be here. I'm so grateful to be able to have friends to meditate with. So grateful for this group and being able to come together and find our center each week. Let's open our time together here with an invocation, inviting Spirit, inviting the great masters to be here with us. This is their weekly meditation that is based on the teachings and techniques of Paramhansa Yogananda and the lineage of Kriya Yoga masters. And I was initiated into Kriya Yoga by my teachers at Ananda Village in California. And we're going to be practicing some of the techniques that Yogananda taught to his disciples, as well as we're going to be exploring tonight around number 2 of our meditation workshop here, which is around harnessing the power of the mind. We're going to be talking about willpower and discipline tonight. So blessings to all of you, and let's invoke Spirit to be here with us, to infuse us with power and calmness and joy. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, dearest friend, beloved God, great masters of self-realization, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahoshai, Swami Sri Yukteswar, beloved Guru Paramhansa Yogananda Ji, great saints and sages of all traditions, humbly, lovingly, we invoke your presence. Be with us in our meditation tonight. Guide us in our lives. Help us to say yes to life. Help us to have the energy and the willpower, the magnetism to draw to ourselves opportunities that would help us to move toward our dharma, our purpose in life. Divine Mother, awaken your love in us and teach us to awaken that love in all. Om Shanti Shanti. Peace. Amen. Our practice tonight, as always, we're going to be using a few techniques and tools to help us to go into meditation more deeply. We're going to begin by just stretching out our lower backs, and then we're going to do some affirmations and movement together. And then we'll be chanting, so I think everybody has the lyric sheet in front of you for our chant tonight. I'll talk a little bit more about that when we dive into the chant. And then we'll be moving into a little bit of a talk here on willpower and what Yogananda taught around willpower. This is some of my most, this is a really fascinating and interesting topic that Yogananda talks about. There's so much power in his words that really can bring a lot of enthusiasm into our lives and into our practice. So I really look forward to us getting into this study tonight and then bringing it into meditation. And then after our meditation, we'll spend a little bit of time visualizing and moving into new versions of ourselves. Such a great time for transformation and self-evolution, stepping into future versions of ourselves and transmuting things that have been challenging and building us up to this point. So this is a very powerful time for us to be gathering and to be visualizing and calling on Spirit to really help us to become the best versions of ourselves possible in this lifetime. In our exploration of harnessing the power of the mind, this is one that I personally am really enthusiastic about studying, experimenting with. I want this for myself. I'm affirming these things for myself. I'm happy to be able to do that together with all of you. These aren't things that I've mastered, but all of us have had experiences where we have had a vision for something that we wanted to make reality, or we've had really difficult things that we've had to do, and we've said yes to it, we stepped forward, and we've done things that are hard, and we've done things that, maybe creatively that were difficult and we had to persevere. And anytime that we have something great that we want to do in our lives, even maybe it's like an exercise routine sometimes, or taking care of children, or really working hard at a project or a job, that it takes an incredible amount of perseverance to accomplish the things that we set out to do. And anytime that we want to do something good, say you want to start a workout routine or something like that, there are always going to be this equal and opposite force that's going to try to stop you from doing that. It's like this life is like a game that we're playing, and we get our mission. We get an interest, some kind of passion that we want to move towards. We see something that we want to do good in our life. It's just like when you start playing a video game, you set out on your mission and your adventure, and then wouldn't you know it, all of a sudden there's villains that show up and you have to overcome and move towards your goal. And life is just like that. So anytime, just note that that's a normal thing that happens. Expect it, A friend of mine was telling me, he's like, I just made this goal or this new routine where I was going to start going to the gym 3 times a week, and I really put it in the schedule, and I'm going to do that. And as soon as I did that, I got sick. Like a cold comes, it's gonna. All right, are you still gonna, when you recover from that cold, are you still gonna go after it? You still gonna go forward with it? It's testing us. And similarly, in the video game, whenever we're overcoming the different bosses or the different levels and the challenges, your character is getting more powerful. You're learning, you're practicing, you're getting better and better. So anytime that those difficulties come, it's to strengthen us, and it's to help us to get stronger. Yogananda, he talked about willpower, and these words are so powerful. I want to read some of the things that he says here, and you should all have a sheet there. I wanted to give this to you so that you can really take this in and absorb it for your week. So I wanted to read this here. He says, this is from a book on how to be a success. And he says, utilize your willpower to obtain success. He says, the whole world stands aside for the person who knows where he or she is going and is determined to get there. Feel the power of that. The whole world stands aside. So when we make this decision that I can and I will, I am going to do that. So I'm sure we've all had moments in our lives where we just became determined to do something. And we said, we're going to do this. And we did it. That's not something that you made up. It's not a fluke. It's a real thing. This is a law of the universe when we really decide to go forward with something. And it's not that manifestation is something where it's just wishful thinking. We have a vision and we say yes and we harness our willpower, but we actually still have to go forward and do the thing. But what we're doing is calling on these divine forces to come to our aid, and obstacles will arise. And anytime we get thwarted, we just say, no, I'm going to continue forward. This isn't here to destroy me, but to strengthen my powers. And we keep walking forward. And it may not go the way you thought it was going to go, but it's going the way that is best for your soul's awakening, that is actually best for us. So the whole world stands aside for the person who knows where they are going and are determined to get there. He says, your success in life does not depend only upon natural ability. It also depends upon your determination to grasp the opportunity that is presented to you. So let's break that one down. Success in life does not depend only upon our natural ability. So there's so many examples of people who weren't born with a natural ability, but they wanted it so bad that they went forward with it. And we also, when we have this desire for something, even though we don't have that natural ability, we will work hard to develop that ability. Put in the willpower, put in the energy to study and to practice. There's a great story in Yogananda's autobiography of a yogi about he's known as the Tiger Swami. And this is a man who said from his earliest childhood recollection, he always wanted to wrestle tigers. What a crazy thing to want to do. But he was actually a really weak, he said that he was a feeble youth, like a small child, small boy, didn't have any natural abilities and strength. But he was so determined that he joined and he became this wrestler. He joined this group of wrestlers. And even in that time, in India, the British occupation was giving Indians a hard time about being frail, about not having the might and these sort of things. So he really wanted to become strong, to become big. And he would affirm this. He would affirm it in his mind that he was going to become this great wrestler, that he was eventually going to become a tiger wrestler. And eventually the circus came to town in India, and there were these performers that were doing taming tigers and doing stunts with tigers and all that. And at first, a lot of the people in India were so amazed by these tiger tamers, until they realized that the way that they were taming these tigers, they were feeding them opium, and they were beating them, and they were doing all these things that weren't respectful of the tiger. And he decided when he saw that he was going to actually become a wrestler of wild tigers. He would actually go out into the forest and he would catch wild tigers and bring them, and he would do performances. And he would have this strong willpower in his mind that he was going to dominate this tiger into thinking that it was a house cat before him. And he was using this strength of will. And this is exactly what he did. He became this world-renowned, famous, really enormous, like wherever he would walk, people would be in awe of just how large he was. And he had this fame around him about wrestling tigers. There's a whole story around that I'll continue sharing on the other series of talks that we'll be focusing on. But I wanted to focus here really on this willpower that he had and not having this natural ability at first. So sometimes even not having a natural ability, but really having a deep desire to do something can give you even more strength towards that. So don't think that just because you're not naturally gifted. Sometimes when people are very naturally gifted towards something like painting, or maybe they take it for granted that this is just an easy thing to do, or photography or singing. Oh, that's just something that's so easy to do. But somebody that's had to work really hard to develop that, they have a stronger willpower and determination, and the chances of succeeding in this world in that can be strengthened through that. So he said it depends upon also your determination to grasp the opportunities that are presented to you. Opportunities in life come by creation, not by chance. That's a really beautiful thing to realize, that everything in life isn't random, that it comes through our own creation, this engine of karma that is running, that right now the steps that we're taking are creating the future. Us making this decision to come here tonight, we know have so many things going on in our lives, to make a decision to come here to meditate with one another. We are creating that good karma that is developing the future for us. So you're creating things it's not by chance, but of your own creation. He says a strong will, by its dynamic force, creates a way for its fulfillment. By its very strength, the will sets into motion certain vibrations in the atmosphere. Nature, with its laws of order, system, and efficiency, then creates circumstances favorable to the individual who exercises willpower. Will derives its strength from an honest purpose, a lofty motives, and a noble concern to do good for the world at large. A strong will is never stifled. It always finds a way. So the power of this, when we keep our minds on this truth, that we can keep stepping forward with faith in the power of the omnipresent goodness to bring us what we need at the time we need it. It's been so beneficial in my life and so comforting to hear these truths and to put them into practice. So we get to put them into practice with our efforts. And then we get to learn. The more and more that we do this, the more we trust the universe. He said, use willpower and continuous activity in order to be successful. Here are 3 rules for making your willpower dynamic. 1, and here he says, choose a simple task. Oftentimes what we do is we try to bite off something really big, like too big. We want to make these incremental steps towards it. We want to make incremental steps and keep adding something, keep choosing another task that we can overcome. And then it's like if we go to the gym and we want to lift weights, we start with the biggest weights we can find. We're going to hurt ourselves and we're going to give up. But if we start with the smaller ones, and then we do another one, it's like, okay, this is a little bit bigger than I think I could handle. There's another a little bit bigger, and we just keep going up and up with that. So he says, choose a simple task or accomplishment that you have never mastered, and determine to succeed in it. Maybe like some simple things. Just think of some simple things. Oh, like maybe every day I don't make my bed or something like that. Maybe when I wake up, I could just fix the sheets and tidy it up. That's a simple task that you maybe never done, or maybe that seems like a daunting thing to do. Maybe choose a simple thing, or maybe hit snooze on that alarm a bunch of times when you wake up. Maybe say, I'm going to choose a simple task. When the alarm goes off, I'm going to say, I can and I will, and I'm going to wake up and get right to it. I'm going to start my day with that. And you'll be surprised at the power in that. I like to start my day when the alarm clock goes off. I'm not perfect with this, but I do my best. When it goes off, I just say, one of them that I like is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And just like, okay, it doesn't seem like a hard thing to do, to just get up. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Or whatever guru, or whatever teacher, or whatever you want to use there in place of Christ. So choose a simple task that you've never mastered and determine to succeed in it. I'm going to ask you now to have something in mind. We're going to really take, after our meditation, we're going to say that we're going to do this, and we're going to empower ourselves to just do something simple this week. Be sure that you have chosen something constructive and feasible. Then refuse to consider failure. Concentrate on a single purpose, using all abilities and opportunities to afford it. Be sure that your willpower is used constructively, not for harmful purposes or trifling things. Always be sure that what you want is right for you to have, and then use all the force of your willpower to accomplish your object, always keeping your mind on spirit, the source of all. That's that awareness, and we want to have that awareness, keeping our mind on the source, keeping our mind on spirit, the source of all. Like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It's not my ego saying, I can do it. It's saying, through me, this can happen. Or, I like think of something that, say somebody's harmed you and it's hard to forgive them. That idea of forgiveness, to err is human, to forgive is divine. The divine can forgive through us. The human has trouble with that. But the divine through us can do things that we didn't dream possible. And he says, power from the dynamic source of your being will flow through you so that you will be creative in the world of business, the world of thought, the world of wisdom. And I love how he puts that here. You will be creative. And what do we think that he means by that? Maybe anybody have an idea what he means by we will be creative? Why would he say that? Ponder that for a moment. I feel that when we make a decision, we say I can and I will. That's creativity. The ideas come into our mind of what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Creative ideas that come into our minds, creativity. We're all living our lives as artists, and our lives are the canvas that we're painting. So that creativity, it's like we're in this constant communion with our inner genius, with our higher self, And that's what creativity really is. We're moving from ourselves, our ego, and we're in this constant communion with our inner genius. And then that flows into our business, into the world of our thoughts, and into wisdom. When you want to create something important, sit quietly, calm your senses and your thoughts, and meditate deeply upon what you want to do or acquire. So this is very powerful, but maybe it's a step that we skip a lot of times. We have something important that we want to do, and you find yourself in an important moment. This is, all right, I really want to dig deep. I really want to make this happen. Or maybe you're being called to help somebody, or you're being called to do something that's difficult. You don't know if you have the energy or the willpower or the creativity or the wisdom to do it. And you take a moment, sit quietly, calm your senses and your thoughts, and meditate deeply upon what it is that you want to do or acquire. So, maybe, take some time, go into a meditation where you're completely calming your mind, calming your thoughts, focusing on a technique or a breath work. And then at the end of that meditation, meditate on what it is that you want to do or acquire. See it in your mind. Feel yourself moving into that and acquiring and accomplishing that. It says, a man striving for permanent success must meditate every morning and night in order to feel the guidance of spirit. So you can hear that. It's that when we have an important thing that we want to do, we can sit and meditate, and then meditate on what we want to do or accomplish, and then see that through. And then one who wants to have permanent success, you want to have permanent success in your life, meditate every day. Do that every day. See the future of your day. And this is how you will become successful in everything you do. And also, we want to redefine success. Success should not be measured by the things accomplished, but by our increasing understanding, our increasing abilities, and our closeness to God. So everything that we're doing, if we're increasing our abilities, our understanding, and our closeness to peace, joy, love, calmness, wisdom, power, we're getting closer and closer to that, then that's a success. So we can be successful every day when we meditate every day and we see this future for ourselves. During meditation, the yogi feels the power of concentration in the will center at the point between the eyebrows, and also experiences a feeling of complete peace throughout his body. In this way, the brain cells become impregnated with peace and power, and their hereditary chemical and physiological composition is altered. Concentration is the key to success. So you can see this is what he's calling on. It's a very simple thing. Yogananda likes to break things down in a really scientific way so that you understand how it works, how to do it, and it's very clear of how to do these things so that you can step forward in faith. I love this. Their hereditary and chemical and physiological composition is altered. This is what you're doing. You're changing your physiology with this. And this is what we're going to be practicing tonight. We're focusing the power of concentration of the will at the center between the eyebrows, and we're going to experience peace. We're going to experience feeling this power. How to realize success. Divine abundance follows the law of service and generosity. Give and then receive. Give to the world the best you have, and the best will come back to you. The law of prosperity is not governed by the law of selfishness, but by the law of unselfishness. So this is really the opposite of what the world teaches us, right? The opposite of what a lot of people are living by. Swami Kriyananda he writes about the facetious nature of the world, saying, what is wisdom other than to keep what is mine for myself? That if I give it away, I won't have it for myself. But he says that the law really is the law of generosity. Give and then receive. Give the best that you have, and the best will come back to you. So when we want to serve the world, we want to be of service, we want to be giving to the world, as we're taking this time and we're finding that peace and that power within us, and we're giving our best to the world, knowing that that will come back to us. It's a law of the universe. In the end, a successful life is judged by the simplest of questions. Have I lived up to my ideals? Have I loved and been loved? Om. Next, I wanted to move into this affirmation that we're going to be singing together, singing out loud. Singing and chanting. Yogananda said chanting is half the battle. So let's really feel the power of this moment to sing together. We are vibrating energy, and as we sing these great truths, we are actually changing our physiology. We're transforming right now in this moment as we sing and we harmonize and we uplift our frequency and our vibration. We've invited these great masters to be here in this space with us. Feel their presence. You can see the images here on the altar. You can feel the vibration and the energy coming through their eyes. Yogananda's, when you look into his eyes, you can feel his unconditional love. Swami Sri Yukteswar, his guru, you can look into his eyes and feel his strength and his willpower and his wisdom. Sri Yukteswar, you can look into his eyes and see this image of him. He was the householder yogi. He's with you in your meditation. He's here to help you to meditate, help you to focus, help you to concentrate. So when we sing this here together, when I awake, I'll see thy face. When I awake, I'll see thy light. Mother, awake me from my dreams. Mother, awake me in thy light. So we're affirming this, we're calling this out, we're making this a prayer. And notice we're not saying, if I awake. We're saying, when I awake. The purpose of life is to find God, not the main purpose of life, the purpose of life. The purpose of life isn't all of our jobs and our career and all the things that we're doing. The purpose of our careers and our jobs is to find God. Moving into our meditation practice here together. We're going to be using a few techniques for our meditation. All very simple but very powerful. And in the way that Yogananda was talking about how important concentration is, how important it is to learn to focus, this is what we're practicing here tonight. And with concentration comes calmness. Sometimes that word concentration can scare us. But when we become concentrated at a single point, we relax our bodies. We feel this beautiful cascade of calmness, peace coming over us. It's a very beautiful thing because what we do is we let go of all the things that we've been worried about and concerned with in our days and in our lives. We are here on a worry fast. You're allowed. No worrying allowed when you're in here. Just let go of all of your worrying. Give yourself permission. I give you all permission to let go of all of the things you've been worried about. You can pick them back up again whenever you like. Here, we're going to concentrate and we're going to focus at the point between the eyebrows. I'll remind us over and over throughout the meditation to do that. We're going to relax and release the tension in our body with a technique. We're also going to use a technique called measured breathing, where we're going to be inhaling through the nostrils to a count of 8, holding the breath to a count of 8, and exhaling through the nostrils to a count of 8. The main technique that we're using is called Hong Sa. Very simple. On the inhalation, we're mentally chanting Hong, H-O-N-G. And on the exhalation, Sa, S-A-U. This is a very powerful old mantra that has been chanted by many, many yogis for a long, long time. It was a very powerful mantra. In its essence, it means I am spirit. We're saying I am spirit, Om Sa, mantrified Sanskrit. There's a lot of power in this mantra. There's another aspect of that technique, which is the right index finger, where we are going to gently curl that right index finger toward us on the inhalation and away from us on the exhalation. We're going to be sitting with our palms upturned at the junction of the legs and the torso. But just to demonstrate, on the inhalation, we mentally chant Om. We bring that right index finger toward us and Sa away from us. And I'll guide us, I'll tell you when to start using that right index finger. And I'll remind you of all the steps. All along, we're going to be keeping our gaze uplifted to the point between the eyebrows. And to begin, we're going to relax and release the tension in our bodies. And we're going to open our meditation here with a prayer. And I'd like you to repeat this prayer out loud after me. So let's sit with our backs in a straight line, our head parallel to the floor. Palms are upturned at the junction of the legs and the torso. Bringing our palms together in front of our hearts and repeating this prayer out loud. O infinite power.
O infinite power.
I will use my will.
I will use my will.
But guide thou my will.
Guide thou my will.
In everything I do.
In everything I do.
Let it reflect thy will.
Let it reflect thy will.
Be with me in my meditation.
Be with me in my meditation.
Help me to focus.
Help me to focus.
Help me to concentrate.
Help me to concentrate.
Help me to relax.
Help me to relax.
So that I may feel your peace.
So that I may feel your peace.
Your calmness.
Your calmness.
Your joy.
Your joy.
And your love.
Your love.
Om. Peace. Again, we're going to be relaxing and releasing any tension in our bodies. This is a short and long double inhalation. And then we're going to tense all the muscles in our body, low, medium, high tension. And then we're going to throw the breath out with a we're going to relax, release the tension, and we're going to feel cosmic energy pouring in through the back of our brain into our bodies. You can feel that energy flood into your body. So let's begin taking in a normal deep inhalation and all the way out. And now, double inhale intense. Low, medium, high tension in all the muscles, vibrating with willingness. And exhale. Relax, release, feel. Again, inhale intense. Low, medium, high, vibrating with willingness. And exhale. Relax, release, feel that energy pouring into your body, tingling, vibrating. Last round, inhale intense. Low, medium, high, just a bit higher. I can and I will. Vibrating and exhale. Relax, release. Feel that energy pouring into your body, releasing, relaxing, releasing all the tension in your body. Gaze uplifted to the point between the eyebrows, palms upturned at the junction of the legs and the torso. Spirit is with you, the great masters are with you, helping you to concentrate, helping you to focus, to accomplish all that the will is to do in your lifetime. Coming here to help you to focus, become the best version of yourself. There's nothing more interesting, nothing more valuable in this moment than to just simply relax and focus on the techniques, and then we'll allow ourselves to merge with joy, with love. So with our gaze uplifted at the point between the eyebrows, we're going to be inhaling through the nostrils to a count of 8. Hold the breath to a count of 8, and then slowly exhale through to a count of 8. So it's going to be a very slow inhale. You just take very slow inhales. So let's go ahead and throw the breath all the way out. And very slow through the nostrils. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Slowly exhale. Last round. Inhale. Hold. Slowly exhale. Breathing normally. Just allowing that breath to come and go naturally. As if the breath were waves on the seashore. Just feel that breath come up onto the seashore, turn around and go back out into the ocean. You are the witness, the observer, just noticing the waves of breath coming up onto that seashore, turning around, going back out into the ocean. Feeling your body relax, your mind relax, but feeling a deep yearning, desire to connect with the divine while you relax and focus. Just allowing that breath to come and go. Letting go of all cares and worries. And as you breathe, begin to notice the sensation of the breath in the nostrils. Noticing that on the inhalation, the breath there feels a bit cool. And on the exhalation, slightly warm. With your awareness, with your willpower, simply focus the awareness of the feeling of the cool and warm sensations in the nostrils. Single pointed, just feel that. Allow your body to become more and more relaxed with each breath, as you just simply feel the cool and warm sensations coming and going. And as you become more and more relaxed, let us now move the sensation up from the nostrils, up to the bridge of the nose, where the nose meets the skull. Feel the cool and warm sensations of the breath now coming and going from the bridge of the nose. Zoom in with your awareness. Shine the flashlight of your awareness to this point. Just feel the cool and warm sensations coming and going. Becoming more and more relaxed with each breath. More and more determined with each breath. More and more enthusiastic with each breath. Let's move this sensation now up again, just slightly this time, to the point between the eyebrows. Feel now that the cool and warm sensations of the breath are coming and going from the spiritual eye at the point between the eyebrows. Lifting your gaze to this point. Feel the cool sensation there on the inhale. Slightly warm sensation there on the exhale. Really feel that. Feeling your body relax. Feeling your enthusiasm strengthen. The gaze uplifted, feeling the cool and warm sensations coming and going from the spiritual eye. Let us now add the mantra, Hong Sa. Mentally chanting Hong on the inhalation and Sa on the exhalation. Feeling the power of the great masters, the awakened masters, here in this space, your spirit guides, your higher self, joining you, sitting in front of you or superimposed around you, helping you to focus, helping you to go deep. Gaze is uplifted at the point between the eyebrows. Feeling the cool sensation there on the inhale. Slightly warm sensation there on the exhale. Mentally chanting Om on the inhalation and Sa on the exhalation. Nothing else to do. Allow yourself, give yourself permission. Simply focus on the technique and let's meditate with Hong Sa now as we feel more and more calmness as we focus. find the mind has drifted, just simply bring it back to a focus at the point between the eyebrows, feeling the cool sensation there on the inhale, slightly warm sensation there on the exhale. Mentally chanting Hong on the inhalation, Sa on the exhalation. Feel that cool and warm sensation. Let go of all of your thoughts and cares and worries. Yogananda tells us that Hong Sa is a very powerful technique for cultivating concentration. And that with concentration, we are healing our minds. Feel the mind healing the space between two thoughts. gaze uplifted to the point between the eyebrows, feeling the cool sensation there on the inhale, slightly warm sensation on the exhale, mentally chanting Hong on the inhalation and Sa on the exhalation. Feel as if the breath is making these sounds of Hong Sa within your body. Let us meditate fully undistracted with Hong Sa now here as a group for 30 seconds. Letting go of the focus on the breath, letting go of the mantra, letting go of the right index finger, keeping our gaze laser focused at the point between the eyebrows, as if you were breathing in your heart. Take in a deep breath. Hold the breath. Feel a swirling, glowing ball of light energy in the heart center. And now feel that the doorway of the heart is opening and that light is beaming up from the heart up into your throat chakra. Feel that light gathering at the throat chakra, swirling, glowing vortex of light. That doorway of the throat blasts open and that light beams up from your throat up to the base of the brain, gathering there at the base at the medulla oblongata. That doorway of the medulla opens and that light blasts through the brain to the point between the eyebrows, gathering there. 3 exhales from that point. Breathing normally with our gaze laser focused at the point between the eyebrows. You can imagine or see a light there at this point, saying, I can and I will. Calling on the divine to bring this energy to a focus at the point between the eyebrows. Whether you can see it or not, know that it is there. That light is beaming now back onto your brain. Shine that light up and down, back and forth, all over your brain. Healing the no-saying tendency within you. Removing the no-saying tendency, those grooves of saying, I can't do this or I can't do that. Feel this light finding all those grooves in the brain where we've said I can't. See it burning, pulverizing, annihilating those grooves in the brain, and see this light healing, liquid light, now healing the grooves in the brains and creating new grooves in the brains that say, I can and I will. We're only limited by our minds. Feel this light replacing and renewing your brain to its natural, healthy state, unlimited, free. Now, with our gaze uplifted at the point between the eyebrows, Yogananda tells us that this point is like a spiritual broadcasting station or a mental microphone where we can broadcast our sacred demands here as the small self, as the child of God. We can broadcast our sacred demands to the divine, to the infinite. Believe it. One of the simplest and sweetest ways that we can approach the divine here with our broadcasting station, with our mental microphone. Become like a child here holding that microphone. You want to talk to your divine mother. Believe that she is there. You've been waiting for this moment. Now, with your gaze laser focused at this point between the eyebrows, use this broadcasting station with all of your willpower, all of your determination, love in your heart. Mentally say to her, reveal thyself. Reveal thyself. Knowing that your broadcast is being received, feeling the doorway of your heart opening, feeling this heart center, vibrating, feeling that the heart center is like a radio receiver now. She is now broadcasting to you. She's always been broadcasting to you as you dial that receiver to receive her transmission. She is always showering you with her divine qualities as you tune your hearts to receive her transmission of peace. Feel that peace cascading, pouring into your heart center, into that radio receiver. Keeping your gaze laser focused at the point between the eyebrows, keeping your transmission going strong. Reveal thyself. Now feeling in the heart, we complete the circuit. We feel peace. Peace that passeth all understanding. This peace is a river that is flowing beneath all agitation. You are this peace. Peace is like feeling of infinite space. Yogananda tells us that God's body is space. Your true body is space. If you want to feel God, then you should feel the infinite space within your body. Now begin to feel that your body is the infinite universe that is expanding, expanding, expanding in all directions until I, the cosmic sea, watch the little ego floating in me. Floating in peace. With our gaze uplifted at the point between the eyebrows, holding your mental microphone here at your broadcasting station, become focused there. Feel a deep yearning in your heart to speak with your Divine Mother. She's waiting to hear from you. Mentally call to her, reveal thyself, reveal thyself. Begin to notice a feeling, a vibration, the sensation now in your heart center. Begin to feel that that heart center is like a lotus bud. And that lotus bud is opening its petals wide and turning upwards to receive the rays of light, warm light that are now pouring into that lotus flower, nourishing that lotus flower, that 1,000-petaled lotus. That light is pouring into the heart center and gathering there, clearing all blockages of the heart, shining light into all of the dark areas of the heart, opening doorways and pouring light into caves of the heart that have been dark for years, for ages, finding all the areas of the heart that have been closed off. And it finds that darkness, that disease, and it heals that heat, that disease. It heals and frees us from the darkness. Feel that your heart is like a glowing ball of light. Feel that your heart is like polished silver, a mirror reflection, polished mirror. All of our attachments to all of the things of this world. Take a golden sword and cut all of those attachments, all those cords that attach us to our littleness, attach us to our stories, attach us to what we think we are, what we think we can do, what we can't do. Cut all those cords and set yourself free and allow your heart to float light as a feather. Light as a feather as we become calm. Yogananda tells us that calmness is invincibility, and that with calmness we can stand unshaken amidst the crash of breaking worlds. Mother, awake me from thy dreams. Mother, awake me in thy joy. When I awake, I end all fear. When I awake, I will know thy love. When I awake, I will end all sorrows. When I awake, I'll know thy joy. Awaken now and feel the joy of this moment. Feel the joy that your Divine Mother is raining down on you. Allow it, feel it, know it. The purpose of our meditation is to know joy. Feel this joy gathering in the heart center, and that joy is radiating out of the heart, filling our body, permeating every fiber of our being with joy. We are here to raise our vibration, to share that vibration with others. We are channels of the light, warriors of light. We never need to be afraid. We step forward in our mission, the things that we choose to do. When we choose something good to do, we step forward with perfect faith in the power of the omnipresent goodness to bring us what we need at the time we need it. Knowing this, we are in harmony with our Divine Mother, with Mother Nature. We feel a smile spreading across our hearts. Smile spreading across our throats. Smile spreading across our mouth. Smile spreading across our brow. Gaze uplifted to the point between the eyebrows. Feeling this joy permeating every fiber of your being. Letting this joy emanate out from your heart to fill this room with joy. Swami Kriyananda tells us that love is bliss in motion. This bliss is pouring into our hearts, and we are channeling this bliss out into this room and now bathing in love. Feel and bathe in this love. Give and receive. Give your best to the world, and the best comes to you. Think of a family member now in this moment that you have difficulty with in your life, and feel this bliss in this moment and share it with that family member. See this light pouring down onto them, bathing them in light. Wish them well, wish them health, clarity, wisdom, and energy. Feel grateful for everything that we have in this life, even the challenges, even the difficult people in our lives are here to help us to find God, to strengthen us. If we want to be a strong wrestler, we wrestle with stronger wrestlers. Feel gratitude here on this Thanksgiving week. Gratitude for your life, gratitude for your friends, for your family, gratitude for your movie, for your body. Gratitude for everything that you've learned. Gratitude for this beautiful game that we get to play, practice, and enjoy. Gratitude for all the beauty in this world. As we allow this light to emanate out from our hearts, it's filled this room that we're in. This light is expanded out from the room, over the building, blessing this space, making this a place of friendship, a place where people feel safe, a place where people feel creative, where they feel calmness and peace and joy. High frequency energy expanding out over the neighborhood, over the city, over our state, blessing our state, blessing all of the people here. No matter if we agree with one another or not, we are all God's children. See this light expanding out over our country. See this light bringing awareness, realization, compassion, creativity, calmness, and peace to all those with receptive hearts. The great conspiracy on our planet is really division. This is a world of duality. It wants to divide us and take away our power. It wants us to fight against one another. A way to fight against the great evil of the world is to feel this peace, this joy within us, and to share it with others. To want the best for everyone, to have compassion for everyone. If we want to live in a compassionate world, we must be compassionate to others who have different opinions. Feel the peace that we hold in our hearts, the well-being that we wish for everyone. See all those with receptive hearts feeling this and realizing this now in this moment. We've been caught up in the dream. We've been sleepwalking. Feel that we are all awakening now, feeling this peace, this calmness, and now together, all of us here in this country, let us expand and share this peace with all of our brothers and sisters around the world. See this light of peace, of calmness, of joy, wisdom, of power. See it expanding over the waters and nourishing and purifying the waters, the reefs, the sea creatures. See it now hitting the shores of the other countries. See this wave of peace that we are sending out to all of our brothers and sisters around the globe. Telling them, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. We love you, we love you, we love you, we love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See this peaceful light pouring over all beings on this planet, uniting us all, clearing our delusion. Mother, awake us from this dream. We are lucid here now. All has been a big cosmic joke. I, tiny bubble of laughter. I become the sea of mirth itself. Feeling this joy, all of us awakening together, we forgive ourselves and we forgive everyone. See this light now wrapping around Mother Earth as she floats in space, all of us awakening and laughing at the cosmic joke. Realizing we've been under delusion, spiritual amnesia is lifted. Let us join together with our Divine Mother, with our palms together in front of our hearts, repeating this prayer out loud after me, and then we'll rub our palms together and we'll raise our palms and chant Om 3 times as we channel this light out to the galaxies, to the universe, all solar systems and planets. Let us share and awaken the entire universe and multiverse. Awaken ourselves here in this moment. Repeating after me, Divine Mother,
Divine Mother,
Thou art omnipresent.
Thou art omnipresent.
Thou art in all Thy children.
Thou art in all Thy children.
Manifest Thy healing presence.
Manifest Thy healing presence.
In all bodies.
In all bodies.
All minds.
All minds.
And all souls.
And all souls.
Rubbing the palms together, feeling this warm magnetic energy in the palms. Taking in a deep breath. Palms up. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Feeling this awakened state here in the afterglow of your meditation, here in this high vibration. Your prayers are amplified. Take a moment, connect with your Heavenly Father. Everything that is His is yours. Let us now choose something constructive and feasible that we would like to manifest. Choose a simple task or accomplishment that you have never mastered and determined to succeed in it. Feel what you're called now here in this moment. What is that? It could be simple. Once that task or accomplishment clear to you, take a moment and just feel what it's like. Go into that state in the future where this is second nature for you now. Or you've done what you set out to do. What do you feel like? Perhaps you hear friends or family members congratulating you or complimenting you on what you've done, or feel the gratitude. Feel the uplifted energy. Feel your willpower strengthen. What does it feel like? Remember, the divine is with you to help you to accomplish all that you set out to do. The whole world stands aside for the person who knows where they are going and are determined to get there. Power from the dynamic source of your being will flow through you so that you will be created in the world of business, the world of thought, the world of wisdom. Now, as we chant Om together here to close our time, make it so. Say, I can and I will. Om. Om. Peace. Amen. Joy, strength, willpower, love to you, friends.